was.
I'm Arifa.
I'm Awin.
I'm Basyirah.
I'm Adriana.
I'm Sabrina.
And right here is Amanda.
And this is our project of My Giant Book.
Okay, so to introduce the book, first you can see that we chose a pastel color scheme for our theme, and we incorporated glitters in the title, and instead of giving the name The Big Book, we decided to put it My Giant Book, so that it's more, you can have that more personal feeling to the readers. Okay, so let's open up the first page, which is this giant book belongs to, and a mirror is incorporated in here. And let's start the adventure. The reason why we inserted the mirror, because according to our age range, which is 4 to 6 years old, well, they love mirrors. They love to see themselves. So these are one of the ways to attract their attention into reading this book. Okay, so the introduction. This book is designed to bring children into a world of fantasy in which they will embark on a journey beyond their greatest imagination. And I think that's one of our goals, which is to enhance children's imagination, and then to also attract their feelings to read books. So we use many different structure and also tactile, so that they can feel and touch. So another section that we provided, which is the bookmark pocket. This is one of the fun part of the book, where they can pick up a bookmark, for example. Nothing is impossible, and then it said mark your adventure. So if they're done reading this part, they can just bookmark here and then move on into another page. Okay, so the next one is the poem sections. Oh, before that I forgot, in here we also have the content. And the contents included poems, fables, and short story. 3 poems, 1 fable, and 1 short story. The next page, 2 poems, Little Fairy, and this is another poem, which is called The Rainbow. The third one is the fable section, The Dove and the Ant. Have you can see many decorations were put in the book, so that the readers or the children can just have a feel. And another one, and the page of the fable, and finally the short story. The short story is called The Matchful, and then in here, because it's a short story, so we incorporate, we put this in the book because it was a little bit too long. However, it is a fun way of actually showing to the children on the short story. And also, this is a Christmas theme. So again, open up the book. It's a big book in a big book. And finally, the last page. The short story. Alright, so we move on to the actual objective of the book. So that is it for now for the introduction, and we move on to the objective of the book.
So we move on to the objectives of the Big Book project. As you can see, the objectives of our Big Book are to help children learn how to read in a fun way, which is like, it's not just words. You get, for example, like it's about mermaid, and then you have the picture of the mermaid, and then there's like her hair and everything. And then the second objective is to foster the enjoyment of reading in children. Like, children love imagination, like fantasy stuff, like creative stuff like this. And then the third objective is to develop awareness of the importance of books, because if we want to encourage our young generation to read, we should like make them familiar with reading books since they are a child. And then the last objective is to teach and inculcate moral values in children. Like we have moral values for each of our content of our choice of poems, fable, and short story. So yeah, that's it for objective. We'll move on to the
One of the contents from my giant book is actually the fable part, which is called The Dove and the Ant. So we'll get to that part. So this is the fable, The Dove. It's called The Dove and the Ant, and the reason why we chose this story is because it's the character of the dove and the ant is not violent for children. It's just a bird and an insect. So the dove and the ant. Actually, the text of the story is quite long and has complicated words within it, but we summarized only the important parts of the story, so it will be easier for the children to read. So I'm going to read the fable for you. A dove saw an ant fall into a river. The dove dropped a branch to help the ant out safely. Soon after, a man tried to kill the dove, but it was saved by the ant that stung him. So basically, the moral value of this is a kindness is never wasted. Therefore, it adds up to the element of moral values within the book.
Okay, to add on about the fables, the dove and the ant, as you can see in the text, we highlight the important words in the text. Because we highlight it because we want to tell the children the highlighted word is the important things in the text. Just like the ant, the dove, the river, the branch, help, and for the second page, again, the dove, a man, kill, and stung. So these important words is convey what the story of the fable is about. So as you can see, there's a picture. The picture describe the dove and the ant. Describe the ant here. As you can see, we use the picture of the ant to attract the students' attraction. As you can see, we use this kind of texture, like for the river we use paper, and for the bird we use cotton ball. Same goes to the second page. We use the grass as a glitter paper, and also the cloud a glitter blue color. Okay, we use this kind of texture because we want to enhance the student senses.
Okay, so I'll be presenting the theories used in making of the giant book. Okay, so first let's look into the Erickson's theory. Okay, since the age range for this book is 4 to 6 or 4 to 7 years old, so the children might be in kindergartens. All right. So what do we aim here? Okay, in Erickson's theory, we tend at that age they are focused on initiative versus guilty. Right. So what's the meaning behind it? Basically, in initiative, the children are more embarked on adventure. Right. So we have the magical. So since it provides an adventure of a Christmas time outside the climate of Malaysia, right? So that's one adventure which is outside the culture of our own country. And then we have this fable where we have an adventure between animals and humans, all right? And then we have what do you call it? A natural phenomena, for example, the rainbow, okay? And then we have the mythical creatures like little fairies and the famous mermaid, all right? So that's what's related to Erickson's theory. Okay, now we move on to Charles' theory. It comprises with stage 0 to stage 1. Okay, so what do they focus here? Basically, they focus on simple phonetics, simple syntax, simple grammar. Okay, so all that we focus on is to help the readers or the children to understand what they are doing. We try to avoid complicated words, right? Okay, so that's the purpose of the child's theory. Another, for the final theory, is the Jean Piaget theory, which is the pre-operational stage, which is 2 to 7 years old. Okay, at that stage, according to Piaget, they focused on abstract thinking, just a simple abstract thinking. So they can be imaginative. So that's why we provided this non-existent creatures, but still can help them imagine the abstract content. So I think that's it from me in terms of theory.
Okay, so in making this giant, humongous book, of course, we went through a lot of issues. And the first issue would be in terms of time management. There are a lot of things that we want to do to make sure that children enjoy the book that we made. You know, we brainstormed many ideas in terms of the color scheme, the elements that we want to use, but of course we can't incorporate every single thing because this is a lot more complicated than how it looks. So in terms of time, we don't really have that much time to incorporate more than we have right now. And also the next issue would be choosing the right color scheme, the right element for children. So this is the reason why we choose pastel colors, because we know that children are more attracted to softer colors, the bright colors that will actually capture their attention and, you know, make them feel interested in looking at the book. And also, other than that, we make sure to include a lot of other elements such as sense of touch, like we incorporate this mirror so that it's not just reading, they can also feel the fun element in it. Another sense of touch would be the kind of materials that we use. We use a lot of, you know, 3D stickers and a lot of fabrics with different textures. We also use strings with hairs that the children can touch. Represents real hair. And we also use the 5-cent coins just to add a bit more spice to it, so that it's not just flat, you know, when you touch it you can feel all the texture. And also another issue is in choosing the right element to attract the children is, instead of just, you know, compiling stories, we make sure to add bookmark pocket, because what makes a giant book fun other than a giant bookmark? So we use, you know, different colored bookmarks with different shapes and sizes, so that they can take this out and they can just stick it anywhere they want. So that really adds to their enjoyment. Another issue would be choosing the right poems, choosing the right short story and fable. Since this book is for children, we make sure to not incorporate stories that are violent, poems that have, you know, dark elements to it. Hence the reason why the fable we choose for this book is called The Dove and the Ant. Because the dove and the ants, they are not actually scary animals as compared to fox, you know, tigers, crocodiles. So we make sure that. Another issue would be finding the right short stories, poems and fables that children don't usually see, that they are not really familiar with, so that they don't get bored. For the short story, we choose The Magic Girl. Since the book is kind of stick to the theme of fantasy, the short story really sticks to that theme that we have chosen. And this short story isn't really that short, but we make sure that even though it is kind of lengthy, we make sure to arrange it in an interesting way, so that it's not just writing over here, but we incorporate a big book inside a big book.
Okay, so this My Giant Book is actually compatible to the targeted age range, which is 4 to 6 years old, and we actually incorporated all the elements, important elements of good children's literature, which is we use different fonts for fonts. or different fonts, and we use colorful fonts with pictures, and this sticker as fairy so that the children will not get bored as they read it through. The fonts used in this book is colorful, so it will attract the attention of the children, and we use simple vocabulary so that they will not have the difficulty to understand the whole book is all about. And yeah, I think that is all. So it is very important for parents to actually choose good books for children as they are developing their reading abilities. So it is very important for parents to actually take note on what is good and what is less good for children.